mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma. We can still.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello there.
Huh.
The Holmayanis.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place. My parents were delighted.
That sounds. Anyway,
You can stay for a.
What? She said they'll treat you to the
But wait. There are so many places.
I'm sorry, my lady.
Oh, come on.
I know.
All right, fine. Ever since you first. Have you been delaying?
Nah.
Would you swear on that? But if something.
Oh.
I just. Mercenary life.
That doesn't change.
My lady. All right. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and my brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to—
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that—
Oh, you mean...
Deshret's relics is on any other—
the Khan?
I think it means beer. Anyway, the—
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've—
Hundreds?
Yep. Not only have they—
That's beyond.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. If I don't do some— I just wish—
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's setting the...
I mean, if he was even remotely— He was loud and, of course, the other brig—
Sounds like an...
What about your mother?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother. It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. But the problem was that they were tales of—
Sounds like you're
More or less, yeah. He seemed to think that even the toys— It was only much
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, until I grew up. Looting, no one in the— Did they really?
I think I can
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left— I'm not investigating them due to any bitter— Yeah,
I see.
it is.
That may be true.
Well,
What should we do?
huh?
Well, she's super tough.
I'm inclined to agree. I'll wait for news from you in this.
All right, then let's—
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Likewise. Anyway, since they've become extremely aggressive. They even attack us.
Even the most ferocious
That's right. A portion of their profits. Yeah, and a few days ago, rather than saying they're out—
Wait,
You heard me right. If their only goal is— Unfortunately, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few—
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect—
Nah, it was
What he said. Besides, yeah. And while they went to talk with any survivors of the—
Hisham and Khalaf.
We rushed over as soon as— Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ear, now that we know you'll—
Hey, what?
Oh,
Of course.
oh. And
Even if she had—
I had—
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming— We held another recruit. The deputy put a lot of—
sorry.
Gotta admit, I can— Now, if only the
Keep the awkward silence.
Hey, didn't— Huh?
I don't—
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment.
All right. We can tell you—
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayani. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel?
Yeah, all you gotta do?
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my...
Will do.
My apologies.
This should be the place. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another.
No need to worry.
Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react.
That's close enough!
Feeling lucky today.
Into the wind!
Shadows of fate. Hi. Cha. Cha.
You won this one.
You're... the flame...
Good. That saves me an intro.
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I...
That might have worked. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes. You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. We can do the 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
But why would he be so...
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by... I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us.
Well, he's out.
Yeah, don't worry. There are lots...
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of...
Let me take a look. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and all familiar names. This caravan, that person will then... Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction? Yeah, every transaction before the last... perhaps... Anyway, the next part's... Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homayani.
Homayani? Could it just...
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not... But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark? And...
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazaman as their person of... They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine. Yeah, funding...
But...
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many The only potentially but that's still just a speculation. You're probably right.
But... what should we do
If you ask me, I'm not worried. Let's go find my... If we're lucky, I've considered that. She showed genuine... That's not how I deal with...
You're right. Paimon wants...
Yeah. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected.
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just...
I see. The clues...
Something like that.
You all look a little... Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's not...
So something is wrong. Even on any other day, Paimon would have already waved... So
My lady, please prepare yourself...
The master. Okay. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story.
I can't help but agree with the travel...
Huh? You mean you feel this...
Thank you for sharing all this. Since you've told me in the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get... However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire...
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed up.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. What?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available. I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. If my father had always been in contact...
You mean to go all up...
No.
But that still does...
So, the Master was not likely an innocent...
Sorry we put all...
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually... Regardless of his reasons, if...
But is that... My father is committed... However, if we decide to...
Dehya.
It's alright, Dehya.
You don't have to do that.
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was the thing about Frank? Right, yeah, true. Besides, there's no point on getting all right...
Thank you, everyone. In which case,
Sure thing.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to...
Yes, but we may skip off.
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention.
So, that's what you found? Huh. See,
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace.
Wait.
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do that. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometime, your father Kusela and I both will. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but the facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts... I'm sorry, sir, but I've made it this far in life. I have my own ideals. I came here to...
I understand. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, they had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, those Eremites were Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dakan al-Akmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really?
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was devoted to repay his kindness. I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and
So, that's what happened.
it was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself.
So, what happened to him?
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. He then suddenly... At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named...
So he was the one who recommended Dehya.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercy. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous company.
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to... Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert.
He was always like that.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fee. Eventually, The letter contained a...
Wait!
That's right. No, but by then, he was no longer that thought. After some deliberate, in the end...
If you can, please tell none of the things he's doing. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then...
Oh no, Dehya...
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his... Another way? But I get...
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between... I don't know Kusela. However, he's responsible for supply. I've heard that he likes to have a few...
Understood. Thank you, sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, my father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over...
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistake.
A blade embraces its duty.
Huh?
I know what you've been up to.
Shh! Keep your voice down. Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. This place should do. All right. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakhan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of more from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise they're always on. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its
Seems like Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
delve into death.
Buckle up!
I'll take Take that!
You ain't messing around! Yeah! Ha!
I'll take my...
Let's get it on! Ha! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Whirling snow!
Oh, she's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use... Did you understand a single word I just...
All right, everyone, let's all just calm... Dehya. He died.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by...
So is that when you guys started acting?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable.
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. Regardless of whether they joined, whether it be their deepest sin, that's precisely it. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a...
I never even...
You were probably the only...
Ever since you... Not only that, but in the end, he was forced to go to...
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you...
And that's why he...
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get...
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument...
So, even the blazing beat...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not...
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly...
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Dakan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch, even though we're outnumbered. We vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. All we can do is... We forged we were also able to... Deshret's relics have become...
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. We used to always laugh. As for me, I never considered, but maybe we were all just... I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left.
Who cares? We'll round up.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only...
Yeah. We'll know what their Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah.
Right here. Right now. Emerge.
One with nature.
Let's light it up!
Regretful. A new punching bag.
Right now. Emerge. Right here.
Into the wind.
Teamwork is teamwork. Let me scribe. Emerge. Right now. Emerge. Sick of
I'll be back.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any trap.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we...
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Let's go! We can't let the ball...
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it...
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked.
Okay, let's... Right here, right now. Delve into death.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little. Emerge. Right here. Emerge. Let me scrap. Right now. Emerge. Right here.
The wind knows me.
Let's light it up! I'm going in!
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it, but as a desert
Don't waste your breath.
run. Had I wanted to run, I witnessed the golden age of even now, the greatest.
So you want to...
Let us They are but two, while we hold with it. Wave 1, charge! Eliminate them!
As one with wind and cloud.
Delved into
Don't think that you won. You're just getting started.
Emerge, right here.
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers. We'll meet again.
Wind Strider.
Teamwork is strength. Right now.
Brothers! This is where we'll prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming in. This place is like a gladiator.
Yes! Keep fighting!
When the next wave comes, try to draw... I'm going to see if I can take out that...
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight.
So, it would...
Time to pay for everything
I will be buried in the sand!
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no... But if you're still going to cling on to your...
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you...
You call yourself a member of the...
Who knows what Hey, have you ever heard of a man... Why would I know? It's not like...
This is your last...
Hey, I said if you're here to find someone, what...
The irony. His life became a light for so many. Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the...
I mean the old record.
The old records room? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. Watch your mouth. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we... But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away. And he couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relic...
Stop wasting our time. Everyone tell me, where
It's just over there. There's nothing left in Bashar. Tikriti, let's go. Spare them no...
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Is this a cane?
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after...
Let's split up and look around some more.
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? And Paimon said these opportunities don't come by. Hey, come on! Anyway, the point is that you doing your Zad.
Aw, my chest was fit, but when everything came to an end, it was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important. Idrisi and my reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. Despite all my we're hypocrites. Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the... Huh?
Paimon will explain.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
But Dehya...
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, my father probably... That thought has even crossed my mind. However, there was always something deep within my mind that... But now that
I understand.
That doesn't mean It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father. And even if the end...
Isn't that neat, though? Why don't we go...
Right.
We'll come along, too.
I can't thank you enough for taking...
Oh, this rug here is quite something.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit... Wait, are you here?
What are you talking about? Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, but when I got there, I found no one except the members who...
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone... I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box. Everything left in the camp will get
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge.
So this box...
Well, back in the day. But let's see what's in... What's this? It's just a bunch of junk.
Perhaps it...
A handwritten copy. It was against the academia.
That probably means this was real.
And here...
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's... Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. Erasers, a wool scarf, which from... I'm sorry, my lady. 2 empty liquor...
Huh? There's something in the...
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the right... I was suddenly seized with an urge to write to Dehya. It's all right.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already... You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the...
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that... I was never your...
Wait, what?
Surely,
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called... Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of...
Sounds...
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. At this rate, I'll puke up all... Anyway, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's... In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child. I suppose, or...
he was a good father to you.
Yeah,
Do you already...
I do. I just have one wish. That there once existed in that only
If you end up finding...
Sure, I appreciate it.
I'll help too.
Thank you. My life is certain because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by